Hi, you guys. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. I hope that you all are well. I hope that you all are doing okay. The Lord had me in a scripture in Proverbs. I read it and kind of, I got the gist of what he was referring to, what he was saying. And then I went to Proverbs 23, kind of skimmed around. And I was like, okay, so it reminded me of the chapter that I was reading about the wise and the foolish builder, but that was in, Matthew. And that's in Matthew 7:24 through 27. And it just reminded me of how we are to work and to toil the ground that God has given us, and to stay the course and to stay focused. Our fruit bears witness. It's a lot of times that we get into situations and life happens. I think a lot of people think that just because you follow Christ and you're saved and sanctified, and you're living for the Lord, some people feel like they're not gonna go through struggles, they're not gonna go through anything, and things aren't gonna happen, which is not true. Things are always going to happen, change is always going to happen, you know a lot of things. And we have to remember, we're human, and we're not in a place to where we're exempt of the things of the world that happens. And and we have to get out of that mindset of thinking that things won't ever happen to us, because things has to happen to us, for God to strengthen us, for God to push us. And a lot of times, we have to go through certain situations, trials and errors, and being corrected, all those things, so that we can help other people. So, because how are we going to help other people if we never been through, these situations ourselves? So we have to go through, things so that we can learn, and then we can also, help someone else. That's, a simple way to put it. And then there are some things that we go through that we still don't have an explanation for it, or we just don't understand it. You know what I mean? But we know that God has a plan for us, and everything that happens and everything that goes on in our lives is for a particular purpose. God is very strategic. He's very intentional. He's an intentional God of, our lives. Even before we were born, He knew us. He formed us. He knew what and how we were going to be. Those type of things. But the Lord wanted me to get on and to reassure, those that are working and that are pushing forward and that have been, you know, holding steady and being faithful and doing things right. And, not to get discouraged, because, we have to remember, just because someone is elevating or someone has elevated in some type of way, shape, or form in their life, that does not always mean that it is, a godly elevation. There's a lot of elevations that are for man and for manly and personal gain. And the Lord is saying, He wants us to stay focused, and He wants us to stay in a place to where when we see those people coming and those opportunities coming, where people are scheming and plotting and planning, trying to get over people, manipulate folks. He wants us to be aware, because how the enemy will work, he will bring a situation or he will bring people. It can be something that you really need, but there there comes with stipulations. And you know, it will come with a cost, a burden, versus when the Lord blesses you. um there will be no sorrow with it. You won't have to be in this place of bondage, or this place of you being controlled by somebody, if that makes sense. So always when opportunities arise, continue to look at the fruit of people, because that is going to determine, you know, uh, where they're coming from. It can be many times family members, people that are close to us, or people that are just close that you just know of, or just know. Um, they seem very authentic. They have the information, they have the connections, they have, everything that is needed to execute the situation that you need done. But the strings that come with it are chaos, confusion, um, all those sorts of things. And we have to remember, God is not the author of confusion. And when the Lord comes again, He will tell you, He will confirm it, and He will line it up. And if you're feeling in a place where you're feeling uneasy about a situation, you're like, yeah, I do need this, or yeah, this is what's needed at the time, or this is lining up with this or with that, but you feel an uneasiness in your spirit, that may be the Lord trying to warn you or tell you about the particular situation or about the person. And that's why I always say, go to the Lord, pray before you make any decision, before you do anything, excuse me. Go to the Lord and pray about it, because you don't ever want to get to a place to where you like, I'm finally getting somewhere in life. I'm finally out of this hole. I'm finally, things are looking up. This could probably be going on. It's looking good. It's looking good, okay? And you don't want the enemy to come and distract you, and to come and derail you with his schemes, with his plots, and his planning. And that's why we have to cut off certain things and certain people, because the enemy comes in like a light, and he will come in a way that seems caring, harmless. I just care. Over emotional people that will try to trick you and manipulate you and play with your mind, to get you into a place to where they just care about me. But we have to remember, God is not the author of confusion. And when God brings something, and when He does something, He does it right, and you don't have to settle for what people can bring to you, if that makes sense. So with that being said, continue to stay on the path, continue to keep your fruit clean, keep your hands clean, and always check the person's fruit that, that is in your circle. Okay? That being said, I love you guys. Take care.